Hello and welcome back to Death for All, and we are going to be heading into Maranath in just a second to do this tournament. Now, the main reason why I'm in Botanian territory is for no reason whatsoever, actually. What I've been doing, let me just exit the town real faster so I get full control of the map back. Anyway, we were down here, right? Yeah, we were down here at Kuyaz, and I'm just going to retrace my steps real fast just so that you can see exactly what I've done, because you may notice I've actually got a pretty significant amount of cash, and you may think, okay, well, how did you do that? Well, here's the thing. I literally did one task. The task itself was just a caravan ambush. I auto-resolved it because I just had way too overwhelming, power, combat strength, and so on, so it was basically a pretty much easy victory, even if I did go into the fight, so there was no reason for me to do that. Otherwise, I went in, did that task, very simple. So that gave me about 2,000, maybe 3,000 total with all the loot and the prisoners and all that stuff. But apart from that, I went from Kuyaz to Ortisia, did a tournament, went to Sargot, did a tournament, went to Jaculan, did a tournament, and then I went to all these other towns in Vlandian territory, and I attempted to do as many tournaments as I could get my hands on. And I've actually accrued this horse. This is actually the only horse that I was able to get in the entirety of the time doing these tournaments. So I was... I don't know whether you could say unlucky or lucky. I think a little bit unlucky, I guess. But I did get an extremely nice helmet, as you can see right here. This is the only good helmet I got. I did get a huge amount of other helmets, and as you can see, I have given our spouse something slightly better than what she was using before, which was nothing, actually. I mean, I did give her a helmet that had 18 protection or something. Now she has one that has 29, so... I suppose that's pretty decent. Otherwise, I have outfitted her with my old bow, because I do have a bow that I just bought. I bought this for 1,500, and it's actually kind of weird, because this is a simple short bow, 93 accuracy in comparison to a masterwork hunting bow, which is 85 accuracy. Obviously, I'm trying to get accuracy as much as I possibly can here. Don't really care too much about the damage, even though the damage of the simple short bow is better. Anyway, so the one thing that we do need to get her is a cape or shoulder pads or something like that. So obviously that's going to be something that I will be looking out for. But apart from that, yes, basically just been doing a huge amount of tournaments, and that's basically it. And that's how I've accrued this much money. It's not specifically due to the rewards either. I'm not even talking about the money reward here. I'm talking about the items, of course. The items are the main reason why I have gained any cash at all, because I did gain this sword as well. I got the scalpel, I sold my old sword, I traded on my other swords, my good-ish ones, to my various companions, so they obviously have slightly better gear now as well. And we can now head on in to this tournament. So hopefully that's got you caught up a little bit here, at least. And we can just do this. Now, I haven't really done too many in Botanian territory. I've done one in Botanian territory so far, which is not too bad. And you can see here, pretty simple to win. You know, it is pretty simple to win these. However, there was a guy in my previous tournament which was very tough to beat. Erderand was his name. Wait a minute, was that a Vlandian? I'm actually not entirely sure right now, because Erderand is a Vlandian vassal, so you'd expect him to be in Vlandian territory, wouldn't you? But I don't know. It seemed a little bit tricky to defeat him. But yeah, as long as I can just help out my teammate, I should be completely fine. Oh, there we go. We got some shots coming in from over there, and wow. Okay, this particular vassal right here from a mercenary faction, going to be pretty difficult to beat as far as I can tell. Yeah, look at that. The variation of attacks that they are employing in their offensive, efforts, definitely making a big difference. Nice headshot right there to start things off. That we're going to need that, I think. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, whoa. Okay. Hello. This vassal is really just murdering everything. A little bit worried about that now, actually. A little bit worried about that. We're going to be going up against... Oh no, yeah, this is bad, isn't it? Okay, well, technically, what we could do is we could use that tree. I know, I've used this before. Someone actually told me about this, but I've used this before. I think in my stream series, in my live series, I did use that quite a few times because we were playing with a character that was, well, pretty low in terms of combat skills. But the main reason why I wanted to start the episode here is because of this. Yeah, look at that. We actually just gained the last renown that we needed to be able to get to the next clan tier, which is fantastic because that means that I will now be able to become a vassal with whoever we want. Yeah, we can actually join whoever we like, or at least I hope so. Anyway, I'm also checking for slashing polearms, but of course, slashing polearms, you've got to bear in mind, are not actually the main thing that we should be considering here. The main thing that we should be trying to get is good armor. Armor is extremely important, especially in a particular situation like this where we are very fragile. We need as much protection as we can get our hands on. And I'm actually thinking of maybe purchasing something like this, but I don't really want to purchase anything that is too themed in Botanian style, because if I do that, I'm going to look like a literal Botanian, and there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But if I'm going to be joining the Azrai as a vassal, it's going to look super weird, So that's the main reason why I'm kind of thinking a little bit more about that. Otherwise, I'm actually going to be buying these scaled boots right here. I might try to buy maybe these braces as well. I mean, I'm just trying to see if I can outfit myself in some decent stuff. And we should also buy this cape for our spouse. There we go. It's not that good. Bear in mind, it's not really that good at all, but it will have to do for the moment. And I'm actually going to be selling this horse. I mean, technically, I could use it. I mean, it does 36 charge damage, which is pretty good. I am spending 10,000, however, which is a little bit, little bit iffy, but you can see here it's got amazing stats. This has really, really good stats. So I'm thinking, you know what? Let's just use it for now. And if at any point we need money, well, I'm riding on something that can give me some pretty decent money. So why not, I think that seems like a pretty decent idea. All right, so I'm going to be continuing to go for the things that give me party size, and obviously my crafting stamina rate really does not matter at all because I'm not doing any of that. For the rule set, of course, just a little thing that I decided on at the very start because a lot of people, or shall we say a few people, were a little bit upset at the use of the smithing, in one of the previous series. So I'm doing things without the smithing this time because smithing can be very safe. It can be a very safe option, and it can make things maybe a little bit simpler than they would otherwise have to be. Anyway, I'm just going to negotiate with these guys as we do have a slightly increased chance to do this potentially because I did just gain that 30% increased persuasion chance, so hopefully this is going to work out. There we go. Very nice indeed. We're going to get some nice charm skill as well. And there we have it. Very nice. All right. That was super nice and easy. And now we're actually going to be making our way back to Azrai territory. I will... Oh, wait. There is actually a tournament going on here. Knight's Fall. What is Knight's Fall? Is that a mace? I think that's a... Yes, that is indeed a mace. Okay, good to know, yes. I thought I remembered it from somewhere, but we might as well do it because these weapons and these various reward items can actually sell for a pretty significant amount, and you kind of want to get as much of that as you can. Oh wow, are you serious right now? I think I might die. Here actually. Oh, okay, that was kind of harsh. Don't think we're gonna... Nope. Okay, we got disqualified straight away. Yeah, that has happened to me once, by the way. That happened to me once off screen, and that was pretty harsh. Yeah, that kind of thing can happen quite easily if the AI can overwhelm your teammates, and even if you're trying, because I was trying pretty hard there to try and, eliminate anyone that was in my range or, within my reach, attack angles and so on and so forth, then, pretty useful to do that. But unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't work out in your favor, and you're just going to have to take the loss and then move on. Now, thankfully, of course, because we are indeed in Empire territory now, we do have the ability to use polearms, and these polearms are exceptionally easy to use, or at least I think they are much easier to use than, for example, the Crusade polearms. Not sure why that is, but I'm not sure whether you can tell whether that is indeed the case or not for you, but for me specifically, I feel much more comfortable with using these polearms than I do the Crusade ones. As you can see, I'm basically 100% accurate right now. Haven't had any problems whatsoever actually hitting with this thing. And it's a bit weird because you'd think, oh, this is much longer, right? The reach is much longer than what you would expect to find in the Crusade territories, because they usually use things that are kind of like pseudo spears rather than actual lances. And so, you know, it really makes a huge difference to have that extra reach, apparently. Or maybe I'm just a little bit better at utilizing that. Did you see that? That literally went right through that guy's head. Oh well, never mind. Okay, this should be relatively simple. I don't think we're going to lose this. No. The Imperial Crossbowman was an absolute beast right there. Did not expect him to actually survive that, but he did. Against all odds, he was able to prevail against the overwhelming might of his extremely mediocre opponent. Yes, indeed. That's how people feel about me. You know, when they see me in the tournament, the crowd is literally like, "Oh, defeat that mediocre combatant, sir." Talking to my opponent, of course. And yeah, there you go. And then when I win, inevitably at some point, sometimes, you know, then, you know, they go, you know, the announcer goes, "Oh yes, look at this, mediocre fighter number 2 has won." I'm obviously joking, partially. Anyway, let's just take a quick look at those splint boots. The main reason why I was doing this is generally because I think they might actually be better. No. They are actually going to be better for a couple of our people. So we can actually just do a little bit of upgrading here. As you can see, we can get some nice little upgrades across the board, and we can actually replace her helmet. We might want to get Kanar. We should get Kanar a cape as well. So why don't we go in here? I just didn't want to spend too much money on a companion that isn't necessarily crucial, if you know what I mean. Because if I spend money on this guy in comparison to spending money on my spouse, then it's going to be kind of like a bit weird, because then you think to yourself, well, why would I spend 2,500 on some random companion that can die pretty easily, mind you, when I could be spending that on a spouse that can provide an heir, huge amounts of steward skill, being very useful all across the board, basically. But yeah, well, it seems to have worked out quite nicely. And we do need to speak to UNQID, I believe, to be able to become a vassal. So what we'll do, Odrisa Castle, he's nearby. Odrisa Castle, isn't that nearby here? No, Odrisa Castle is apparently all the way over there. So yeah, we're going to be rushing over there in just a second, but just want to take a look at the tournament. Oh yeah, okay. I thought there might actually be something available here. As you can see, a noble mount is up for grabs. I'm very intrigued by this. Hopefully we will be able to achieve victory here, because knowing me, when there's actually something really, really useful, you know, like as a reward, I'm always thinking to myself, oh yeah, let me just get myself eliminated right now. That sounds like a great plan. And that usually is what happens. So hopefully this will not happen this time around. I would very much love to get my hands on one of those horses, because that's going to make everything so much more comfortable for us. And that's the point. If you are generally a relatively good combatant, and I'm talking about tournament gameplay here, nothing to do with Battlefield or anything like that, but if you're relatively good in these kinds of situations, or if you can game the system in a certain aspect, you know, so if you use obstacles or some other form of the environment against your opponent in a smart way, then, well, then you're going to get a great advantage, because you're going to have access to one of these noble mounts almost immediately. I'm actually really surprised that my teammate went over there, to be honest. Not sure why he would have done that. But there we go. Kanar's just going to get himself eliminated. I actually need to do something against the blue team here. There we go. Okay, that's absolutely perfect. Oh wow, this elite hired crossbowman has apparently just survived an absolute battering by the blue team. Very surprised to actually see that, to be honest, but there you go. He actually lowered his shield at the last second, but that was actually a bit close, you know. This could have gone a completely different way, because, just face it, if the blue team had eliminated that elite hired crossbowman, I think I'd probably be on the floor right now. I would be eating the dust. That is exactly what would have happened. So that would have been not so comfortable, but hopefully we can actually win against Jastian. Jastian, what a name. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, how many babies in 2023 are going to be called Jastian? I don't know. Maybe quite a few. I mean, the popularity of the tournament goer Jastian has to be skyrocketing at this point, right? Surely. Going to be many of them. Alright, well, there you go. And, I mean, let's face it. If Jastian is going to be a name, then they might as well call a bunch of babies elite hired crossbowmen as well. Well, elite hired crossbow, because he's just called elite hired crossbow, not even men. So yeah, there you go. Yeah. If you'll excuse the silliness. Yes, indeed. Anyway, let's actually just take a quick look at this. Yeah, look at that. You can literally sell this for an exceptional amount. And hilariously enough, wait a minute. Why am I writing this? Did I give my horse to the wrong person? I gave my horse to my spouse. Oh, that's actually hilarious. That is actually extremely funny. All right, okay, wait a minute. Let's just swap them around real quick because I can't actually ride these. That's really funny. Yeah, that is actually hilarious. How many of you actually saw that? I'm sure you saw it, right? You definitely saw it, and I am an absolute imbecile. All right, so yeah, Now I'm actually wondering whether we still want to do this, to be honest, because I was actually kind of counting on the cash. So I'm going to be just selling this one, and then we're just going to move on. But that's really amusing. Oh, wow, okay, I thought to myself, wait a minute, do I have 90 riding skill? I really thought that was a bit weird, you know, because at the time I was just thinking, well, wait a minute, do I have that? I really didn't think I did, but apparently the game was telling me, yeah, you have this. And no, in actual fact, it was my spouse that did, which is hilarious. Okay, so we're not going to be going into any other tournaments for the moment because generally what I would like to do is I'm going to prioritize any tournament that has a horse available as a reward, and I'll be going in against those most of the time. But anyone else, I'm basically just going to be leaving them alone here. There's another 2,000 for us. And yeah, generally it's always I mean, that's the thing. Doing tournaments is absolutely fantastic for renown, as well as for the fact that getting high on the leaderboard is very, very useful. If you do get high on the leaderboard, you're going to get a passive renown generation over time, as far as I'm aware at least. Or is it influence? I'm actually not entirely sure because I've never actually been #1 on the leaderboard. For some reason my save games do not last long enough, or I just don't do enough tournaments to be able to make it to that point. But yeah, as you can see, we're having a lot of people get defeated by the Crusade. It's not particularly good. Let's take a look at the leaderboard real fast. Yeah, so as you can see, Mr. Caladog is #1 with 29 victories. I'm actually at 13, hilariously enough. Alright, that's, you know what? That's actually not even bad. I think I might even be able to do something there. Okay, Escort Merchant Caravan, where do you want to go? You know what I would really love? A quality of life improvement right here. I would love if this guy would actually tell me where he's going to go first. But he actually doesn't. You see that? He literally doesn't say where he's going to go. And we're going to go back to Kuyaz. Of course he is. Of course he is. Oh, well, never mind. This does put us in a little bit of extra jeopardy right here. So I suppose this is going to be a little exciting. Because, let's face it, we've been in some pretty safe environments at the moment. You know, I've been in the tournaments, been just running around generally. And that's also the main reason why I was actually doing that off screen too. Because, obviously, if there's no... well, there's no actual battling, then, you know, there's no peril at all with which we need to face. Okay, wait a minute. I actually want them to attack. Oh. Okay, that's a little weird. Okay, was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting the caravan to basically just be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna juke them. They juked them out really, really well by the looks of things. Okay, that's very funny. Okay, so I actually have some pretty good... Oh, look at that. Not bad. Okay, so I have some decent cavalry right here. Yeah, so now here's the thing. Our spouse is currently not pregnant as far as I'm aware. I don't think I missed any message in that regard. So we can't leave her in a castle or a town or anything like that just yet. However, I will be doing that as soon as I can because let's face it, I do not want her to die. So yeah, that's going to be it's a pretty big problem for me right now because I would love to be able to just leave her in a safe place, but as it stands, I can't do that yet. So it's going to be a bit problematic, but who knows? Maybe she's going to be okay. Hopefully she's not going to die too easily. She does have some pretty decent armor on, as we saw at the very beginning when we first recruited her. She has amazing armor, and I contemplated for a couple of seconds whether I would take it from her, but then I thought, you know what? We all need it, you know? We all need the defenses, and if I die, then that's just my own thing to take on as it happens, you know, instead of taking something from her that is rightfully hers, to be honest. It is hers, so, you know, it's not really good for me to take it. Because I can obviously take over as her if my own character dies. And that actually would be really interesting, by the way, because if my main character dies, then we take over as her, and then we have to find someone else to marry, and that's going to be very interesting in itself, because then we're completely switching gender right there, and we have to go after some male lords, and it's going to be a bit weird, because then we are like, oh, okay, wait a minute, we can now join someone else's faction or something like that. I'm actually not entirely sure how that even works, to be honest, because it's been a while since I have played a female character that actually does get married. The one time that did happen, my spouses just fell like flies. They literally just died over and over again, and that was well, it was enough to warrant the name change to Black Widow, because that's exactly what happened. She was basically just killing them off randomly for no reason at all. She wasn't actually doing anything bad. It was literally just that, you know, they would end up dying in every single battle that I went into. And this is without any of these survival rate changing mods as well. So you have to bear that in mind. You know, this was literally, you know, without anything that actually changed that around. So that's a pretty significant difference. Oh yeah, by the way, someone actually mentioned, thank you very much for this, by the way. Someone mentioned that when you're using the super speed mod, you don't actually need to press Control V. Control V is the default keybind for, you know, toggling the super speed mode. But what you can actually do is you can just press Control X instead. Control X. And what you can do is that is a holding function. So it would actually not give me those kinds of hanging problems in, for example, the bandit hideout that we've had, you know, I think twice now or 3 times now in this very series. So you can actually do Control V, and then as long as you have it held, it will increase the speed of the game. So thank you very much for that. That really makes a huge difference. Maybe it's going to help some other people now as well, because I have mentioned it. So who knows, but that is really, really useful, and I will be actually just using that going forward now, because it just makes all the sense, doesn't it? Yeah, just it makes all the sense in the world. Okay, hopefully we're not using any of my horses. Are we? We're not using this. No, we're not using this. Okay, that's good. I actually wonder how much I have now in riding skill. 72. I need another 8. Oh, okay. We should be able to make it. I feel like we should be able to make it in time in this very episode. I am hopeful that we will be able to do that. I don't think noble mounts are actually used for upgrading any further, or shall we say the war mount variant. I don't think they are used anymore, because they were used as war mounts in previous versions, but nowadays not so much. So I'm actually going to increase my riding skill once again, and well, the caravan's just gone in there, so I might as well go in there as well. And we might as well just sell some stuff. I don't think any of this is actually any good for us, so we're just going to sell it straight up. We could also sell the balanced hunting bow. We can sell all this as well. There's another 2,000. Generally, you actually get quite a bit, surprisingly enough, just from random loot. It seems actually pretty good in that respect. Okay, and I've also sold the prisoners too, which is always nice. I should have actually checked the tournament, but I think it's probably the same tournament that we already checked just moments ago, so I don't think we needed to worry about that too much. However, what I should have done was recruited some additional people. Yes. That is the only thing that I kind of dropped the ball on here. However, look at this. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so it's 60 versus 40, and we have a significant combat advantage. I'm actually wondering, who is this? Is that my spouse right here? I don't think so, right? No, that's an Azerai veteran caravan guard. That seems a bit weird. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they could just run around if they want to do that. Oh, nice headshot. Okay, that was real good. Okay, don't die now, please. Don't die now, Mr. Pellisaur. I would very much appreciate it if you would stay alive. Yes, unlike Bruce, who decided to just fold instantly. Yes. Going up against some desert bandits in some random caravan ambush. Oh, can you imagine the absolute embarrassment that someone must feel as a result of that? Oh my. Oh well. It happens, you know? It happens. That's all we can really say. And Bruce is always going to be remembered for being the person that died against some random caravan ambush, just when I had also mentioned, which was very amusingly pointed out, by the way, so thanks for that. No, I'm obviously joking here. I really don't mind. I think that's actually very funny. But yeah, someone pointed it out that I literally just mentioned how easy this was going to be, you know, the caravan ambush itself. And then all of a sudden, the entire character just literally gets killed. And yeah, oh, that kind of thing. Oh my. I can't believe it, really. Okay, so look at this. Yeah, so now you can literally just speed things up very, very easily. You don't need to press the key multiple times. You can literally just hold it for a little bit and then let it go. It is fantastic. A really, really nice change right there. It's been a while since I've seen the keybinds for that mod, so I really appreciate that, because that really helps us. And I think I can probably fast forward things right now. There we go. Yes, very nice indeed. Okay, wonderful. And we're getting some really good renown rewards for this battle as well, but I really wanted to find UNQID beforehand, because this actually gives a significant amount of influence. That's one thing that I am actually missing out on right now, which is making me a bit sad, because I would love to be able to get some free influence from these battles. It would be exceptional for us to do that. Okay, so we've already visited one. There's 3. I actually wonder whether there are always 3 for this particular caravan mission, or whether there are multiples at any time. Not entirely sure, but seems like we're traveling... Oh, we're traveling to Sargot, really? In completely the opposite direction to Odrisa Castle. Oh well, we can only hope that maybe UNQID is not going to perish by the time that we get there. Alright, so this is the final battle for the caravan mission just before we head into Sargot, and I'm hopeful that I'll be able to get a couple of long-range shots here just to finish off our riding skill. Pretty sure we would be able to do it nevertheless, even if we just went in there with our one-handed or whatever and just did, you know, whatever damage we needed to do. But you know, I kind of like to level up my my bow skill a little bit here. You know, it's always kind of useful to do that, to have some kind of ranged solution to various problems. I mean, you know, sieges themselves are going to be a bit difficult if I don't level that up. However, if I am in a siege, and I'm talking about a siege defense mostly here, I'm going to have more than enough time to shoot enemies from the walls and to try and eliminate that. Whoa, did you see that blood texture right there coming out of the, well, I don't even know. It's not really a blood texture, but kind of like a, I don't even know what to call it really, what to quantify it as, but whatever the case, it actually just went crazy. It just went absolutely crazy. That guy must have had a bunch of blood packs on him, you know? He was overloaded with special effects makeup or something like that. But yeah, anyway, let me see if I can actually eliminate this guy. Whoa, I actually would have expected him to be somewhat damaged, because that was the reason why he was running away, but maybe his morale has just hit rock bottom. That might indeed be the case. And there you go. He has now been eliminated. And I think we can probably speed the rest of this up. We shouldn't have too many difficulties winning this. We are actually ending up losing quite a few units over time here. That's maybe the main reason why I was kind of kicking myself for not recruiting additional units before we left Kuyaz. Because that's the thing, I kind of want to only use Aserai units, if at all possible. I think that seems pretty fun. As you can see, we did actually end up losing six units. 6 units. That's really, really bad, actually. Oh well, never mind. We need to get some more war mounts as well. So the next time we come across a horse-producing village, or, just a general faction with a lot of horses, Khuzait territory, anyone? Yeah, we're going to be heading on over there relatively soon to go and see UNQID anyway. No, you're not going to attack my caravan. Thank you very much, you imbecile looters. I'm not entirely sure why they're even doing that, but anyway, yeah, as you can see, horses are extremely expensive in Vlandian territory, but we did make it to 80 riding skill, as you can see right here. So now we are using the Royal Destrier, and I should be purchasing this armor. Very nice. Look at that. Protect our horse. Protect our investment, because technically it is an investment if we don't sell it, because it's 15,000 gold. It's a pretty significant amount, to be honest, and it would probably do us a lot better to just sell it, but I don't know. Maybe it's a good idea not to. Anyway, this guy's last seen near Akalat, so I'm going to be making my way over there. Actually, really surprised that he's all the way over there, to be honest. I would have expected him to be retreating relatively soon, but apparently he doesn't want to do that. Anyway, I'm going to travel through Aserai territory, recruiting a couple of units, just in case I do become a vassal, and then we are expected to engage the enemy almost immediately. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.